Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Nikita Antoine and today I'll be doing a reading for the sign of Aquarius. As always, of course, all of my readings are timeless, so when the message finds you and resonates, then it's yours at the time in which you find it. Aquarius, I've done your reading today with the Hush Tarot. By Jeremy Hush, so you'll be seeing that in your spread. I have already done the overall energy and everything. I did actually do this reading before, but my camera decided to jump off of the tripod. So yeah, we're just gonna start over again. So there is something that especially fascinating has happened in your reading, and it has to do with the actual deck. So this is the underlining. The underlining of your reading today is the Four of Wands, and it's coming through as like, look at that beautiful bouquet. A beautiful bouquet of flowers. It's lovely. And then there's this really sharp energy behind that. What is that about? Okay, so we have that, the Four of Wands. And what's fascinating about the deck right now is that on the other side is the Ten of Cups. I don't think this has happened before on the channel, but it has happened to where, sometimes what will happen is I'll end up with like, oh, why did I do that? I don't even know why I did that. The moon. Something unseen. Okay. But anyways, so what sometimes happens is like this. Like I'll get a deck after I've finished pulling the cards, and I'll be like that. And usually what that means, okay, there we go with the moon. Usually what that means is that there's something unseen. And I'll then pull the cards out, and look at it, whatever. But with this one, this is talking about everything being revealed. Everything is out in the open. It's being revealed. So we have this bouquet of flowers as the underlining energy of your reading, which is coming up as it's coming up as a traditional experience. A traditional experience. And then with these two, I don't know, are they cranes, egrets? I think they're egrets. With these two egrets, this is the Ten of Cups. So, they're like synchronized. They're synchronized together. So this is talking about a traditional way of experiencing a relationship, a traditional way of experiencing a relationship. And okay, what I'm noticing here now is that there's this in the camera, it looks like a nest. This looks like a nest down here in the Ten of Cups. And they are both nurturing this Ace of Cups, this cup down here. So you're both nurturing the emotional status, the emotional well-being of the relationship. That's what you both are nurturing. This traditional, coming up as a traditional relationship. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles here, the wedding dress. So that gives you like an idea of what I'm referring to as traditional. And then with your overall energy, we have the Six of Cups. So there's a long-standing a long-standing relationship between you two. Like it's got the Six of Cups energy, so it's very familiar, incredibly familiar, comfortable too, and synchronized as well. So you're in the flow with each other. It's very beautiful. It's a really just lovely relationship. What I'm noticing though here is that there's this cup down here that's been spilled. This guy's noticed. One has noticed this cup has spilt. So there's something about the emotional well-being, the cup has been spilled, so it's leaving 5 cups, which is now talking about disappointment. So there is, and then this one is noticing. So this one is noticing that there's a disappointment because of the emotional well-being. Disappointment because emotional well-being. Okay, in the relationship. You both are synchronized as well. Okay, so this is your significant other. Okay, this is your significant other, and they've noticed this. I want to say it's definitely about you, because in your reading today, we're starting off, let's just go ahead and begin. We're starting off with the Hangman. And this is coming up as you actively trying to hide something about yourself. You're trying to hide something about yourself. Perhaps it has something to do with the emotional well-being. And it's presenting itself as like underneath your clothing. So that's referring to, if you were to, I see when the cards present themselves as like it's a person that's standing naked, it's talking about vulnerability. So letting themselves just be open and allowing others to see them in their purest state. With this one, with the clothing, what it's referring to is it's like not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to show something, and it's causing this hangman energy in you. So it's feeling to you as, well, I was going to say stuck, but it's not a stuck feeling. It actually kind of feels like you're trying to get away. Like it's kind of a frantic energy a little bit, trying to get away because you're wanting to hide something about yourself. And in that process of trying to, I guess use like the escape hatch in a sense, you're tripping up and you're finding yourself like entangled. You're entangled. You're finding yourself entangled. And you can't hide. That's what it's talking about. Because you are entangled, you cannot hide. And that entanglement is referring to, the synchronization of your relationship. So because you both are so synchronized and you're in the flow with each other and you are entangled, like quantumly, I guess, if you will, they can feel, that's what this is talking about. They can sense when you are feeling away, like when you're feeling down. They can feel when you're down and you're sensing this disappointment within your own emotional well-being. So it's like that you can't hide even though you're attempting to try to hide. So that the knowledge of you realizing that regardless of how much you try to put, it's coming through as like putting on a brave face. No matter how much you try to like put on, especially with this mask, like you're putting on a face, or you're putting on, you're masking your internal realm. You're masking your internal like emotional state. They can sense it. They can sense it. There's no hiding it. So you have found yourself in kind of this, with the strength card, it's talking about you've surrendered. You have surrendered to them viewing you. I want to say it's what you perceive as your worst. You're perceiving it as your worst. I mean, it could be, but that's what you're seeing. And you've dropped the cloak. So when you decided to finally show yourself, to show all that there is, to be vulnerable about your emotional state, everything that is coming, like that is rising up within you, is presenting itself as a strength card. And the strength, what we see here is that there is still that entanglement. You're standing still. And we have this, it's like this energy. I'm just going to call this, because it's just coming up as like emotional well-being. Okay, so this energy is coming out of you. Like it's out. And it's presenting itself as the moth and the bat energy, which I find to be, I actually find it to be very desirable, interestingly enough. You're not experiencing it that way. But when I look at the cards, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing your magic on display. And your magic has to do with the moth and the bat spirit. And the moth talks about, paranormal stuff, supernatural occurrences, things. Actually comes up as like things that go bump in the middle of the night, that type of stuff, especially with the bat spirit, because the bat can see in the night. I mean, well, they can't see physically with their eyes, but they can send out signals that then bounce off of that stuff and then come back to them. So it's talking about using another modality of sight. And in this instance, especially with the moth energy, it's coming up as like psychic, paranormal. I'm trying to think of other words, supernatural, like those types of things. The stuff that is, I don't know. This is the stuff that I get excited about, but you are experiencing it as this is unpleasant. This is not what you want to experience. It could be coming up as like a lot of it's like you're seeing it as like chaos energy. Like it's like a lot, because I'm sensing all of the like fluttering and all the stuff that's surrounding you. So, for you, it might be experienced as, well, it's not a good experience for you, is what I'm seeing. And I feel like that has something to do with your own judgment that you're applying to this energy. Because when I look at your significant other, this is what I see. I see the Queen of Pentacles here. And the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing, loving energy. She's very accepting of all things, regardless of if they reside in the dark. It's like her arms are open and accepting of this energy that surrounds you, your emotional well-being, your emotional state. If a psychic energy has started to rise up within you, initially it can be seen as, okay, why is this coming up? I'm thinking of my own, like, I guess if you want to call it awakening, if you will. I'm very not into all these like cliche things, but anyways, it can be kind of a scary initiation process because it's very unknown. You don't know what's going on. You're hearing things, seeing things, feeling things that, well, they're beyond the veil. You have to use that extrasensory ability to be able to see them. And it's almost like that's actually your gift, is that. So when they look at you, they are very accepting of you. And they want to nurture, well, they actually want to nurture this side of you. They're coming out with the justice energy. And yesterday in the Pisces reading, both of these energies came out, and the Justice was talking about being a living example for others by having their magic on full display. So you see how they are naked, vulnerable, open, and all of their gifts and abilities are on full display. They're a living example of what it looks like to accept this, in your life. And they can see that within you. They can see it. Now, it looks a little bit different, and that's because everybody's gifts are different. So, while yours comes with the bat and the moth, theirs has the bee and the ant spirit, which talks about, the bee talks about being able to move between dimensions. And then the ant talks about community. So she's so sweet. So their magic is like it's their spiritual work. They work for the community as like a spiritual leader type of thing. Not even necessarily that. What's more important is that they're on display. They're on display. And you can see them. Everyone else can see them. just looking at this dynamic between you both. And when you look at them, when you see them, it's magical. It's beautiful. You love everything about them. Look at this beautiful eye contact that you have with your significant other. There's something here about you kind of putting them on a pedestal, if you will. It's presented, hang on. I got the kitty on my lap, so I can't really move. It's presented here with the rabbit, you know, this being your significant other, is higher. It's presented here as well, and the egrets. So there's something about how when you look at them, it's like it causes you to look back at your own self almost in a compare and contrast type of way. You're looking at them as all the beauty that they have, their gifts, their spiritual gifts, if you will. And you're looking at yours and you're like, mine are dark. I have dark gifts. They're not pleasant. You know what I mean? They're scary. Well, with it being on display, I want to say that this has more to do with that others see your gifts as something that is scary. Because now we're bringing it in like the public. So, but when they look at you, they see beauty too. So it's interesting how it's almost like it's like you're judging yourself. You're judging yourself, and that's what's causing you to want to hide it and run away, because you don't know if they would be accepting of this part of you. And in the cards, what this is saying is that yes, they are accepting of this. Okay, hang on, there's something else coming up here. It has something to do with this shape here. She looks like a Venus flytrap. Okay, so it's almost like you're warning them. It's like you're warning them, like, if you come closer to me, this energy around me is going to like suck you in, type of thing. This emotional well-being. Okay, so your emotional state, you don't want to suck them into your emotional state. Okay. Okay, so here's what because you are so synchronized, it's almost, and we're coming up with the message of how you are entangled. It's kind of like they're already there. They're already there with you. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that you can do to prevent them from being like pulled in to where you are because they're already with you. You already hold them within your being. And I'm seeing that in, okay, so we're ending off, I'm seeing this in the way the cards are displayed. Yes, okay. You see how your energies are holding them within your being. You see what I'm saying? So they're already with you. And I want to say, I feel like this is a beneficial thing for you because what it's going to allow for you is the space to express this energy, the space to express, well, your strength. That is stunning. It's the space to express your strengths. And in doing so, it's going to bring your magic to the forefront. And also put you on an even plane. Because we were talking about how this one, it's like you're putting your significant other on a pedestal. Because of how well developed their gifts are. Okay. It's like there's a slight I don't want to tap into that energy. It's coming through as like a slight competitiveness. Very small though. Almost in a way that's like, okay, if they've discovered their thing, you know what I mean? They've discovered their thing and they are living it, right? You have yet to discover your thing. You're not yet living it. So it's not competition, it's like a comparison. Like your comparison and then internalizing like where you feel like you're not meeting, I guess, some standard. The standard being, this is the standard. The standard being this traditional relationship. It's coming through as a very traditional. So, we're ending the reading off here with the Hermit card. This is wonderful owl. And I'm kind of like not really understanding why this card is out here at first. And then I'm realizing that this owl is like biomechanical. So there is a mechanical aspect to how you are processing your internal realm. It's like it's mechanical to view this as undesirable. That's like it's an automatic response. And then with the organic aspect to it, with the owl sight, being able to see the whole picture of things, it's like there's two ways to view this. You are choosing to view it like something unpleasant, or you can choose to view it as this justice energy. It depends on how you want to look at it. That's why you're in the Hangman. How do you want to look at your emotional well-being? Do you want to see it as unpleasant, or do you want to see it as like beautiful and a beautiful experience? You know, like this energy here with the Strength card is standing in place, whereas this one in the Justice is there's like there's a movement to it. So there's a flow. This is almost steady in place, whereas the other is in flow. Okay, so Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and pull cards for your extended reading. If you're interested in that, you can find the link for it in the description box. So I'll see you there. Bye.